Hello friends, hope you have an amazing day and welcome to my new blog. So today we discuss about child labor, the Prohibition and Regulation Act 1986 and the Child Labor Prohibitions and Regulation Amendment also Act 2016. So in India is one of the countries where children below 14 years age and below have been making them to work in mental hazardous work environment and sometimes dirty job in hotels and restaurants for washing for dishes and bowls. So children labor has been hired especially in the small scale units like leather, plastic, bangles manufacturing, poultry foods manufacturing, and garments manufacturing related units. So there are people who are doing business of supplying child labor to aforesaid units by procuring them from various states like different states like Bihar, Uttar Pradesh and Jharkhand. Subsequently, sometimes children literally being treated like animals in small scale units. So they are being exploited and abused. In fact, and different types of harassment. I do not mention in my blog. You should understand. So this type of harassment and many being done to them, and there are many children captured and staying in clutches of inhuman employers, seen long time, and many are trying to escape from hands of such people. Only a few of them are able to escape from the clutches, and others are still waiting for the chance. In India, employing a person who is under the age of 14 called as child. So wherever takes work in any industry or establishment shall be treated as crime. As such are liable for serious punishment according to the Child Labor Prohibition Regulation Act 1986. And Indian police are empowered to take the cognizance of child labor, subsequently arrest them and produced before honorable court. In addition to this, there are many voluntary organizations also striving for abolish of child labor and provide education for their better future in life. So labor ministry has notified the amendments to the Child Labor Prohibition and Regulation Act, paving for complete prohibitions of employment of children up to the age of 14 years, but allowing them to help in family enterprises. So the purposes, the proposed change have been made effectively from September 2016, even as the debate continues on whether the government needs to relook at the provisions to avoid any misuse of this act, that is Child Labor Prohibition Act. According to the 2001 census, there were 12.6 million child workers between the age of 5 and 14 in India in 2011. This number fell to 4.35 million. The National Sample Survey Office's survey of 2009 put up the number of 4.98 millions. Now, the objectives of Child Labor Prohibition and Regulation Amendment Act 2016 so prohibit the engagement of children in all occupations and to prohibit the engagement of adolescents in hazardous occupations and processes and the matters connected therewith or incidental thereto. Under the Child Labor Prohibition and Regulation Amendment Act 2016, children younger than 14 years can now work in family enterprises and firms after school hours and during holidays. Children working as artists in the audiovisual entertainment industry, including the advertisement, films, television, serials, or any such other entertainment or sports activities except the circus have also been granted exemptions provided the work does not affect their school education. Before the Act provides banning employment of children between 15 to 18 years in hazardous work in sync with the Right of Children to Free and Compulsory Education Act 2009. The bill enhances the punishment for employing any child in any occupation. It also includes penalty for employing an adolescent in hazardous occupations also. So the penalty for employing a child was increased to imprisonment between 6 months and 2 years from 3 months 1 year, or a fine of rupees 20,000 to 50,000 from rupees 10,000 to 20,000 or both. The penalty for employing an adolescent in hazardous occupation is imprisonment between 6 months and 2 years or a fine of rupees 20,000 to 50,000 or both. Anyone repeats offences like employing child or employing adolescents in hazardous occupations mentions in this act under section 3A, they shall be punishable with imprisonment for a term which shall not be less than 1 year but which may extend to 3 years. Article 24 of the Indian Constitution says prohibition of employment of child in factories etc., which means child below the age 14 years should not be employed in work in any factory or mine or engage in any other hazardous employment. Now, Labour Ministry proposes stringent rules to safeguard child artists. The Labour Ministry has proposed stiff rules to regulate participation of children in any form of audio or visual entertainment, also including advertisement, films, television, serials, or sports eating the child entertainment industry in India. It would be mandatory for producers to seek written permissions to be renewed every 6 months. Producers of any audiovisual media production or any commercial event involving the participation of a child shall involve child in participation only after obtaining the permission from the district magistrate or the district where the activity is to be performed. The draft Child Labour Prohibition and Regulation Amendment Rules 2016 said in 2014 that the government was contemplating some checks and balances on participation of children in the entertainment industry after rampant instances of children finding it difficult to bear the physical mental trauma associated with the rigorous routine. So the fresh of rules have been moved in sync with the Child Labour Regulation and Prohibition Amendment Act 2016 approved by Parliament in the monsoon sessions and notified by the Ministry in September this year. As per the 2001 census, the total number of working children aged 5 to 14 years was 1.26 crores. However, in SSO survey in 2004 to 2005 said the number was 90.75 lakh, while the same survey in 2009 to 2010 put the figure at 49.84 lakh, and nearly 20% of there are engaged in the audio video industry. Also, the producer will have to submit an undertaking before the district magistrate the list of the child participation, consent of parents, and the name of the individual from the production or event who shall be responsible for the safety and the security of the child. So the undertaking referred to shall be valid for 6 months and shall clearly state the provisions of for education, safety, security, and reporting of child abuse. Besides, the draft rules have also proposed that no child artist shall be allowed to work for more than 5 hours in a day and not for more than 3 hours without rest, to ensure that the education of the children or child is not compromised and the child gets enough rest. These draft rules shall come into force on the date of their notification. Labor Ministry has already notified amendment to the Child Labor Prohibition and Regulation Act, resulting in completion prohibition of employment of children up to the age of 14 years, but allowing them to help in family enterprises. The proposed changes have been made effective from 1st September 2016. Under the Child Labor Prohibition and Regulation Amendment Act 2016, children younger than 14 years can work in family enterprises and farms after school hours and during holidays. Now, Child Labor Prohibition and Regulation Act 1986 Amendment 2016, Section 2. In this act, unless the context otherwise required, adolescent means a person who was completed his 14 years of age but has not completed his 18 years. Appropriate government means in relations to an establishment under the control of the central government or a railway administrations or a major port or a mine or a oil field in the central government, and in all other cases of the state government also. Child means a person who was not completed his 14 years of age and or such age as may be specified in the Right of Children to Free and Compulsory Education Act 2009, 35 of 2009, whichever is more. Day means a period of 24 hours being at midnight. Establishment includes a shop, commercial establishment, workshop, farm, residential, hotel, restaurants, eating house, theatre, and other place of public amusement or entertainment. Family in relation to an occupier means the individual, the wife or husband, as the case may be, of such individual and their children, brother or sister of such individual. Occupier in relations to an establishment or a workshop means to person who has to ultimate control over the affairs of the establishment or workshop. Port authority means any authority administering a port. Prescribed means prescribed by rules made under section 18. Week means a period of 7 days being at midnight on Saturday night or such other night as may be approved in writing for a particular area by the inspector. So, Section Amendment 2016, Section 3. So, Section 3, according to the new amendment, child is allowed to work at certain places mentioned, helps in his family or family enterprises which other than any hazardous occupations or processes set forth in the schedules after his school hours or during vacations. Work as an artist is an audiovisual entertainment industry or including advertisement firms, television serials, or any such other entertainment or sports activities except the circus, as I mentioned earlier. So, family in relation to a child means his mother, father, brother, sister, and fathers, sisters, brothers, and mothers, sisters, and brother. Family enterprises means any work, professions, manufacturing, or business which is performed by the members of the family with the engagement of other person. Artist means a child who performs a practices to works as a hobby or professions directly involving him as an actor, singer, sports person, or in any such other activity as may be prescribed relating the entertainment or sports activities falling under clause B and subsection 2. The schedule mines inflammable substance or explosive hazardous processes. Explanation for the purpose of the schedule. Hazardous processes has been meaning assigned to it, and clause CB of the Factories Act 1948. Hazardous process means by any process of activity in relations to an industry specified in the first schedule where, unless special care is taken, raw materials used therein or the intermediate or finished products, byproducts, wastage, or influence thereof would be cause material impairment to the health of the person engaged in or connect therewith or results in the pollution of the general environment. So that's for the video, my friends. If you like my videos, please subscribe, share, comments my channel. Thanks a lot for watching.